Welcome everybody back, except for not the L is for Lions podcast, which is what we used to do. We are rebranding and creating a completely new podcast called Off the Rails with Tone and Gems. The reason for this is mostly because we realized that more than just Lions fans, more than just lefties, more than just guys who love baseball, we like to talk about everything. So we're going to go off the rails. If you've listened to the last couple episodes of the L is for Lions podcast, thank you for that. But also, you'll probably be used to kind of the format here. We're going to talk about anything and everything, and get a little bit in the weeds, and really enjoy ourselves and have great conversation. We're both dads, so this is probably some of the really only adult time we get talking to other adults. So, so here we go. I'm Tone. That's Gems. Gems, how you feeling today?
Good. I have to work midnights tonight, so dreading the first one. After the first one, they get easier, but like swing shift sucks.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. That doesn't sound like fun. I got to be to work probably around 3:00 in the morning tomorrow morning. So after being off for 2 days, so I'm with you. I feel the pain.
Yeah, I'll be about you're an hour behind. So 3:00 your time's 4:00 my time. So I'll be about 10 hours in at that point.
Good. Jesus. Yeah. No. Fuck that. That sucks. so you'll go to work around what, like 4 p.m. then?
5 your time. I'm 6 to 6.
Oh, that sucks. Damn. Well, hopefully this podcast is more enjoyable than that work shift.
Right. Well, and like this podcast is going to be great, and we're going to start getting sponsors and make a bunch of money on it, and then
for sure,
you just have to worry about insurance somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had Clayton Kershaw lined up for this podcast, but he canceled because he won the World Series yesterday. So, way to go, Clayton Kershaw. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, the too, probably.
Yeah, we're gonna with Justin Turner, so we might as well just hop right in. Other than the side note of we will still talk about the Lions game probably every week, just because we are Lions fans and that's important to us. But it just won't be as in depth. So we're going to talk about other stuff. I'll leave all this other stuff open, like talking about Justin Turner getting pulled in what was it, the sixth inning,
fifth or sixth,
with a positive test result from COVID,
which they got in the second inning, I guess. They were waiting for a fast track of a second one before they pulled him, and he almost hit a home run in his last at bat too.
That's wild. So I didn't think about it at the time, but your text to me was hilarious. Was that thank God the Dodgers won, or else we would have a game 7 like 2 weeks from now.
I kind of like initially I was like, yeah, I'm glad, but then I was like, it would have been sweet to have baseball later on.
Just like a one-off, like 2 weeks from now. Just be like, hey guys.
I honestly I don't understand like how he would have tested positive. I mean, I thought they were pretty well bubbled. They haven't had any positive tests throughout the playoffs, and then Game 6 of the fucking World Series. And Justin Turner is a bad man in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing I can think, right, is so you either have some kind of conspiracy theory, which you could come up and say, okay, well, maybe baseball was trying something, or insider baseball spies or whatever. That's like the crazy talk, right? You could have something there because that's kind of crazy that I would assume they test when they came into the stadium.
You would think they test you would think every day they would probably get tested, right?
But then like if you got tested or you're fine, or maybe, I'd have to look into the protocols, but that just seems like a weird timing to get pulled out of a game.
Because you'd think the test would need to be back before the game. Or he had a positive test before the game started and they were just like, well, we won't say anything.
Or I wonder if maybe like he tested negative, but like he made them alert of something, like I was around a strip club that had a COVID case. Right.
It had to be something like that, you'd think, if he got tested again late. Because
it's probably in his beard.
Right.
No.
For sure.
I mean, yeah, it just didn't make a lot of sense because you're like, yeah, how are you playing and then you get pulled for a positive test? Because you would think you're not catching it on the field.
Right. Because there should have been something they were unless they weren't concerned at all. And like that's been common practice where the tests don't necessarily get back by the time the game starts.
Maybe.
But you got to think if I was a Ray, I'd be so pissed off if like he's playing third base. So obviously, well, there weren't a ton of runners last night, but
no.
He's pretty close and he's throwing the ball around. So like I'm mad if I'm Max Muncy. I mean, they won the World Series.
Yeah, you're like, "Well, I guess I could take COVID for 2 weeks. No, yeah, it is weird though, because like that's the thing is like, right, you're touching a basketball, it's touching or touching a baseball, you're moving it, throwing it around, it's in the dirt.
Right. Do they still have bat boys during this? I would assume so, right?
Dude, you know what? I didn't even pay attention.
It's not
So
like you get a hit and get your own bat.
yeah, that's for sure. Somebody's kid, probably. I'd guess
Right. I
maybe.
mean, the catcher's right there. Obviously, he goes up to bat. Hey, how's it going, or whatever, or fuck you,
Yeah.
whatever it is, talking to Zunio or whatever.
And then who knows with his hitting routine, he might spit on his gloves. He might.
Right.
I mean, that's that's it's just a wild turn. Luckily, they did win. But yeah, because I don't know if the thing I don't want is I don't want any asterisks on anything.
Right.
Like, and I know like Pat Riley's a crack job and was like they should put an asterisk on the Lakers one because we had some injuries, and I was like, you mean like sports? Fucking,
right. It's still impressive, regardless if it was a 60 game or 162 game season. It's still impressive to beat every other team. Not necessarily beat every other team, but make it through the World Series.
Well, but then even like in the NBA, like the bubble, I mean, like that might even be harder to be honest with you.
Right.
Like you're away from your family, you're around these fuckers all the time.
Yeah.
Like
with baseball, I think it's even more tough because I mean the World Series had days off, but like none of the division or championship series, it was straight 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
So like with pitching and stuff, it was tough to because you could pitch people on short rest in previous years. I mean, you can still do it now, but I think a lot of times they had a day off in between somewhere.
Well, speaking of weird pitching, though, I mean, like, old boy getting pulled a little too early last night. He ignited the internet.
Like as a pitcher, that made me hurt. Like, I had flashbacks to like a high school game one time where I got pulled too early, and I could hear my dad like cussing in the stands.
I had a no hitter in the 6th inning, and I walked somebody, and it was my 102nd pitch. 102nd pitch, and they pulled me, and then the next guy on the first pitch hit a 2-run home run.
I remember this was it was a smaller school, but they were the number 1 team in the state in their class. It was full of basically everybody I played travel ball with, the other team, so it was like a big game for me. It was kind of neat. We're in like the 6th inning up, I think 3-0, and they got a couple hits here and there, and then I want to think it was the 5th or the 6th inning, and I gave up 1 hit to probably the best hitter in our area, and I had like 90 pitches, so it was nothing crazy. Coach pulled me. It must have been 3-1 at that point or something, or 2-0, because he had pulled me so like I wouldn't get the loss or whatever. But I didn't give a fuck. I should have kept going. And then they brought in the other pitcher. Like we basically had 2 main pitchers. We get random relievers, but it was me and the other guy that started all the time. And we ended up losing like 11-3. I'm like, like pacing around the dugout, so pissed off. But so like last night, as soon as they pulled Blake Snell, I tweeted something, but I almost just tweeted like the Rays are gonna fucking lose now. But I just knew it. Like you had that feeling. He was pitching so well. The 1 through 3 hitters, I guess, had struck out 6 times. They were 0 for 6 to that point with 6 strikeouts. And Mookie Betts was coming up, who's like the 2nd best player in the game right now. So I was reading a thing on the numbers of Kevin Cash pulling Snell, and
the analytics.
It made sense. I guess 3rd time through the order, Snell is not great. He didn't make it out of the 6th anytime this year.
Yeah.
But it's the World Series, and it's stuff like that happens. Like history shows, like there's going to be like some magical moment in the World Series where Blake Snell throws a complete game, 3-hitter with 14 strikeouts to bring a Game 7.
Well, that's the thing is like, and you're not going to use him the next day or the next game.
He's not going to throw for 6 months.
So just run him out. I mean, especially if he's cool with it. If you go out and he's like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. I got COVID from Justin Turner. But
let him throw 120 pitches. He was dealing. I was so pissed. I get it. Like Kevin Cash managed the Rays to a number 1 seed in the AL. He did this all year long, so it was nothing off. But you could see the reaction they showed it on Fox. And Joe Buck's like, you can see Blake Snell is not happy because he like turns the camera, or he turns around after he sees Cash walking out of the dugout. And he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, dude. That's the sucky thing about like being like you just never know, especially like in today's game with all the analytics and shit. Like, I mean, I pitched in an era where there was no analytics really.
Right.
I mean, there was analytics, but it wasn't like we were like the first years of like 100 pitches, 125 pitch, like, you know what I mean, like the kind of pitch count kind of like being a thing really, like
Right.
like I mean, not that the 80s and 90s didn't have that, but like we were really like the first one where they were like it was like a hard cap. Like
Right.
it wasn't like, well, like, hey Tone, how you feeling today? And I was like, you know what, I smoked a cigar this morning and I had 5 bottles of vodka Red Bulls and I feel great and I'm gonna pitch 200 pitches today. And they're like, now it's like the middle of the freaking batter. You're like, it's 2-2. They're like, that's 125. You're out. You're like, what the fuck? This little league rules?
Right.
Like my mom has to sign a waiver. Like, what the fuck?
There was a game my junior year, and I was like the number 3 pitcher, so I pitched randomly, and I should have been at least the number 2 guy pitching, but whatever. That's irrelevant.
I'm with you. We all been
and
there.
It was a non-conference game, so it didn't necessarily matter a ton. I think it was a doubleheader too. It was like game 1 of the doubleheader, and I think I was a little wild, but like they weren't scoring a ton of runs, so my pitch count was pretty high.
Yeah,
but he didn't want to waste any more pitchers because it's high school. We only had a couple that were like worth a shit.
Yeah,
he comes out and it's like I'd probably thrown 125 pitches or whatever, and he's like, "How you feeling?" Fine. Especially as a junior and trying to like, you need to fucking throw me more.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm good. So I threw like 2 more innings and had like 170 pitches. I think it was 177 was the number, but like my arm hurt, but like by the time it was time for me to throw again, I was fine.
You're fine, yeah. See, that was my thing. So that's what ended my career. Dude, this dude almost just hit my car outside. Sweet. Like, so I have my office faces the front of my house, so I can see our road, and my car's parked like right here on the street. And some dude just made a crazy ass U-turn and like came this close to my my car. I mean, you probably shouldn't U-turn in a neighborhood going like 65, but whatever.
Is it snowy still?
No, all the snow melted yesterday. I mean, we still have it on our ground, but like it's off the sidewalks and stuff. By the way, you live where it snows, correct?
Yeah.
Does the north-facing, south-facing thing make sense to you? Or is that not a thing for you guys? Okay, so here, if you have a south-facing house, the snow on your yard and everything is gone the next day because the sun melts it. But if you have a north-facing, like we have the shadow, so nothing melts. So on one side of the street, it looks like fall, and on the other side of the street, it's winter.
Is that a mountain thing, or just the way the sun hits it, or?
I have no clue. I guess maybe it is a mountain thing. I don't know, to be honest. That's why I was like, I don't know if that's anywhere else, but yeah, definitely in here.
Ours is, I guess, it's probably ours. Direction issue is what way's the wind blowing? Are the roads going to be drifted?
That's true. Fair enough. Yeah,
cornfields and stuff here.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, totally makes sense. And that's how we go off the rails. But we'll go back on the rails. And I'll talk about how my arm and how I got hurt actually was from college. They made me work out finally. I used to just run a bunch of cardio and shit. And like, I never worked out my arms. My legs were always in good shape. Like to this day, like I get complimented on my calves all the time by ladies. They're like, you have good calves. I'm like, whatever. It's all my legs. It's everything's throwing. But my arms, I have a really long wingspan. But like I have Ehlers-Danlos. It's like a joint disorder. That's like, so I have like elastic joints. So I just throw every day. Like I throw like 150 pitches every day.
Right.
Didn't matter. Like my arm never sore. But then like in college, they made us start working out. And I was like, Coach, my shoulders dislocate when I bench press and shit. Like probably not a good plan. Like the bar dislocates them. Like,
yeah.
Like it's, and so, but he was like, no, everyone's got to work out. So I worked out enough to basically like put strain on it. And then it started to like basically like thread apart like the tendons. Like they just, so slowly they were like, and then they got so weak that when I threw it, it just popped. And
Ugh.
Did that twice, and decided to get it repaired the third time. So that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize is that pitching. Well, that people that didn't play baseball or don't understand the sport, I guess, or follow the sport at all, is pitching is not a natural motion and is very, very strenuous on the body.
You see like baseball cards of like Randy Johnson, and it looks like his elbow is on the inside.
Yeah, or that fucking giant vein that's like sticking out from their arm.
Right. I remember the first time I was like went to like a high school softball game, or it was on TV or something. I can't remember. But I asked my dad, I was like, "How did she just throw like 180 pitches? Like what is going on, or why is she pitching every day?" He's like, "It's a natural motion on underhand."
Yeah, no strength. It's like
I think it was my junior year.
Yeah.
Sophomore year, our girls softball team went to state to the state championship game, and the main reason was we had a really good pitcher, and she could throw every day. If you like, that's huge in girls softball. Like, if you can just have one girl that can throw.
Oh yeah.
Every day.
Well, I mean, imagine like you have like fucking Clayton Kershaw,
right?
Who again dipped on our podcast for the World Series, whatever, not a big deal. Imagine if you could pitch him every day.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, your wins over replacement are way. Like, I mean, he's got to be better than the fourth guy. Like, you know what I mean? On a consistent basis. I mean,
his game one start, like watching Kershaw when he's on, is incredible. I love watching good pitching.
By the way, him and Stafford are very much alike.
Yeah.
Like when he's like off, you can tell, and then when he's on, he's like, "There's no one better." Like,
right. Well, that's a good segue into the Lions game because Stafford looked great finally.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't like see the happy feet. He might have gotten sacked once or twice, but like, I don't think they were the bad sacks that he'd been taking.
I didn't go back and look at the last play, but did he get touched on that last play, or did he just almost trip? Because when he was getting out of the pocket, he like kind of had like that weird like.
I don't know. He dodged a bunch of guys in there, and then fucking.
I couldn't tell if someone got a hand on him or not, but like I was like, "Oh shit, he's going down," and then I was like, "Oh no!" But I watched it after I knew we won, so I was like, "He's got to do something here." So
that was the Lions shared that tweet of all the videos of the reaction. It was like World of Isaac's reaction, Evan Foxy's reaction, some other people's reactions. I wish I didn't have to watch the game on my phone at work because like I would have had. I think because I've been thinking about it more lately. It's like I need to record myself for some of this. Like,
dude, watch alongs. Like if we ever had, like if we're ever off for the game, we should do a watch along because I guarantee you it'd be the funniest shit ever.
Right.
Because I mean, like that's the thing is like you're like I knew we won the game before I watched it because I was following on my phone and then I didn't get back in time to watch the rest of it, but I knew we won, and so I fast forwarded to like the fourth quarter and I was watching, and even watching the fourth quarter, I was nervous. I was like, "Can we lose on a replay?"
Well, it was like I was having flashbacks to that Golden Tate Falcons game. I think it was the Falcons at Ford Field where they touchdown,
and then they overturned it.
Reviewed it, and it wasn't, and then they had a 10-second runoff.
Yeah, I think that was the Falcons.
I think it was. I was like, this is going to happen again.
Not surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That catch though, that what was it, the 40-yard pass?
The Galladay one to get down.
That Galladay one was nice. That was
he looked great.
Yeah,
and kind of being like, not really sly about it, but he's like, they're gonna have to pay me.
Yeah, they should.
And they should.
Well, because here's the thing, right? If you're going to go all in on Stafford, if you're not trading Stafford, and you're going to say, okay, we're going to make a run until Stafford's done, you got maybe 3 years. Pay Galladay for 3 years. If we didn't get nothing out of it then, just let him go. Like,
right.
But you got to make a run now. Hawkinson's looking good. Swift is coming on. Galladay's good. Amendola's clutch. The defense is not fantastic all the time. They're hit or miss.
Right.
And then, we got Everson Griffin, which is going to be interesting. He won't play for the Colts game this week, but but he'll be on the field for the Vikings, which is his old team. The following week, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think
I think so.
so. I think so. But yeah, so I mean that's a big pickup. I mean the fact that here's the thing. I think the fact that we're making deals this late in the season, even though it's like a 6th round pick for Everson Griffin,
Compared to when they were doing decent a couple years ago and traded away Andre Diggs.
Yeah. Makes no sense. By the way, all of our players that go to the fucking Seahawks always have an uptick in stats, so that tells you coaching is questionable usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like the fact that we're making deals means I think they're making a run at least this year. I mean, or they're thinking we're gonna. So I wonder if we'll have any more trades because the trade deadline isn't up yet, right?
No, I think there's. I don't know when exactly. Oh, it's election day. I think it's.
I would say. Let's say they extended it
like 2 weeks from today or 3 weeks from today.
Yeah,
people are gonna have to make a lot of big decisions.
Well, actually, no. Isn't election like in a couple of days, like a week?
It's a week from tomorrow or a week from yesterday.
So, yeah. So,
well, we were talking during the game because we were talking DFS during that.
Yeah.
Stuff, and you had said, I really thought this Lions-Falcons game would be more high scoring.
Yeah.
They both have time to blow second half leads. Be patient. And it happened.
They did. By the way, I didn't post. I don't think I got it posted because I thought I posted our last L's for Lions podcast. So now it's just going to get lost into the ether whenever, like, no one's going to hear it. It's going to be the lost episode.
Right.
But on it, when I'm listening back to it to edit it, I definitely said, we'll be down early, hopefully, because you said something about missing a field goal, extra point, and I was like, and then you said we won't miss an extra point because if we miss an extra point, we'll lose the game. And I was like, well, maybe it's early. We score first, and then they go up, and then we have a big second half, which is kind of what happened. And then the most Lions thing ever, we get a fucking penalty, and Prater's got to kick like a 54-yard extra point to win the game.
Yeah,
most ridiculous shit. Thank God it's Prater, but I mean.
I hope that was like curse breaking, like that was the battle of the teams blowing leads and like the Lions.
I definitely think it was changing of the guard though. Like was definitely like, yo, Atlanta, here you go. You're the guys who suck more, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because I mean, I don't know. Like we said last week, again in the lost episode, Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford, same dude, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and you know, I think Matt Ryan's more vanilla. Like Matt Ryan is the vanilla version of Matt Stafford. Like,
yeah, I don't think he moves around and makes the plays and downfield like Stafford does.
I feel like, again, this is how we get off the rails, and I think we talked a little bit about it last week. I think if you took Matt Stafford and Matt Ryan and you put him on all of the other 31 teams and have the exact same players around them, in every single situation, I think Matt Stafford leads all of those teams to better records than Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, are you thinking like if Matt Stafford went and played for the Chiefs, he would lead a better record than Matt Ryan would? I was thinking I'm not sure Matt Stafford's going to lead them to a better thing than Pat Mahomes will. But.
No, but like between the two, if you like just were able to like literally simulate dropping Stafford in and then dropping Ryan in against the team, I think in every scenario, pretty much Matt Stafford gives that team the up. I think he has the positive because he's better. I mean, I think he's a better quarterback. He definitely makes better throws. He's got a better natural arm strength. I think because Matt Ryan, I think, has a little bit of a noodle arm.
And well, he can also.
He's like Peyton Manning without the talent.
Yeah, he can make these like sidearm throws or those.
Yeah,
we talked about that last week too about how he makes these. Apparently, they're going to compare him to Patrick Mahomes, even though he was doing it first. They're more like Brett Favre things.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like weird is like, and I think this is the thing I love about like Patrick Mahomes. I love about like Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson. Those guys who have kind of come along recently, I guess Russell Wilson's been around for a little bit more longer, but like those kind of quarterbacks, you directly, or at least as me as a fan, I'm 37. I now am directly seeing like the impact of like dudes who have grown up watching some bit of Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and also grew up watching Michael Vick and like Donovan McNabb and like the dudes that ran and Steve Young, maybe like those kind of, and now you're seeing those kind of worlds collide where like a running quarterback also has all of the intangibles of like can make all the reads and make all the throws and stuff. So it's like those kind of things where you're like, it's getting interesting. And then I think the next evolution is all right. So we're back and 3, 2, 1. So yeah, so I think the next evolution is going to be like the players that are at other positions like evolving. Because I think the quarterback is the easiest position to evolve because you touch the ball every play.
Right.
But like, I think you're going to see the evolution of like different, like you're going to like this hybrid of like almost, I mean, you're kind of almost seeing it. But like with the defense, since they can't hit the way they used to hit, like I think you're going to see more like safeties that like are like basically undersized linebackers.
Yeah.
So they can run, but they also can cover up and like
what
that
kind of happened at the tight end position. Like they were mostly blockers back in the day,
Yeah.
and then Antonio Gates shows up. Well, I mean Tony Gonzalez,
yeah.
but like these basketball player type.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Like you throw LeBron James out there, I think he's fantastic.
Yeah. What position would LeBron James play though? Like, do you think it'd be tight end?
You would think so. I'm sure he's fast enough to be a wide receiver. Maybe not at 30, however old he is, but I think he would probably be an incredible. I would think him being athletic enough. I think he was a really good high school football player.
He was. He played 1 year, I think, 1 or 2 years, and then he quit because obviously everyone saw basketball in his future.
Right. I would think he would be a Hall of Fame tight end, no doubt.
I mean, probably. I mean, he's got good hands. He can throw the ball though, pretty far too. Though, I mean, he's.
I can't imagine he'd be a quarterback.
Just be like a 6'8".
He'd
be
monster.
Paxton Lynch back there. Like a 6'8", because that's the crazy thing about the size difference. You're like, oh, that's like the weird thing, right? Like everyone's like, oh, look at Steph Curry, he's so cute and little. I'm like, that motherfucker's 6'4", 6'3". like that dude's bigger than all of y'all, you assholes. Right. That actually leads me into totally reminded me of a segment that I wanted to do, that I thought about, which was I see a couple of these podcasts. They do a draft. Sometimes they pick weird things, right?
Oh, I love it. They do it on our local radio too.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I was thinking in particular, shout out to the JJ Redick podcast. It's called The Old Man and a 3, and they always have a draft with their guests. They do a snake draft. Usually, it's weird things. Like they just did one. I just listened to one with Sue Bird where they drafted fictional movie characters to take the last shot of a game. So, they picked like Jesus Shuttlesworth and stuff like that. Okay. So. But for us, I was thinking or at least the first one. My first one that I thought would be funny is we pick a sport, any sport we want, and then we can draft anybody to fill that team out. But they can't play in that sport.
So, like, if we did like a football team, we'd do like the offensive positions or something.
Yeah.
Like quarterback, or if we did baseball, we could do like a full infield or full.
Yeah. Okay. Or like basketball, but you wouldn't pick any basketball players. Baseball, but you can't pick any baseball players.
I like that.
And it could be like celebrities. It could be actual athletes. It could be whatever. So, what sport do we want to draft? And then we can go from there. Obviously, snake draft. So if I get the first pick, you get the second and third pick.
Right. I think I like the baseball idea since we're
okay. So we're going to draft an entire starting 9. I think that's good, right?
Yeah.
We playing DH or no DH? Are we doing 10 or 9?
Let's do a DH because that'll even out. Then we each get 5 picks.
All right, sweet. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, cool. Okay, so DH. We what do we want to do? Flip a coin. See what we got.
Yeah, that works.
All right, I don't have a coin, but I do have a watch battery, which is like a coin. It's a giant ass watch battery, though. Do you want Energizer? Oh, look at this. Check this out. Marty Morningweg, take the wind. That's a Lions joke. Energizer side is heads, so this is Energizer, and then this blank backside is tails. I'll let you call it.
All right, I'll do.
I'll keep it on key. So you're taking heads. All right, here we go. We're playing flip or no flip?
Flip.
Okay. It is tails, so I get the first pick. Or I get to pick, because I might take the second pick. And in this case, I am going to take the wind, and I'm going to take the second pick.
Okay. So my turn.
So I'm gonna write them down as we go. So we need a pitcher, catcher, first base, second base, third base, shortstop, left field, right field, center field, and a DH.
Are we
You can
gonna
draft.
place these guys in a batting order afterwards?
Yeah, maybe we do. Yeah. All right. I mean,
are we thinking like so drafting like Kyler Murray?
it's a fair game. He is not a
Okay.
professional. He's not a professional football player or not a professional baseball player anymore. So he could conceptually. Now, in this case, I like Deion Sanders is off limits. If they touch the major,
Jordan.
if they touch Jordan's fair game, if they touch the major league level, they're off. That's the rule.
Right. Oh, Michael Jordan would be fair game.
Michael Jordan would be fair game. Brian Jordan not.
I'm putting at this as like who I would want to see play a position.
Yeah.
Whether it's somebody that actually did it or not.
Yeah.
I think I want my first overall pick to be Brett Favre as a pitcher.
Okay, Brett Favre as a pitcher. All right. Brett Favre as pitcher with the first pick. I like how we did this with no research, which is
right.
Awesome.
That's what I'm gonna end up picking like 5 football players or something.
These will be fun in the long run though. Like all right, so I'm gonna take big target, power, speed. Since you already took your pitcher, I might lay off the pitcher because I have almost everybody.
Are we drafting our own team here?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking we were doing it together.
Oh, I mean, no. We're our own team. So I keep it. I'm writing it down too. So all right. So pitcher for me, or no? So I can pick any position. I don't have to pick pitcher first. I'm gonna take LeBron James, and he's gonna play first base. Big target at first base. All right, LeBron James, first base. Got it. The second pick. All right. Now with the third pick, I'm going to run it back with. You know what? Since he played catcher and he has a strong arm, I'm going to take Matt Stafford as my catcher. With the third pick. All right. Now it's your turn. 2 in a row.
I'm going to stick with the football player because this is as far as my brain has worked thus far. Don't know if he could play catcher, but the amount of face masks he broke playing fullback, I feel like he's just gritty.
I mean,
Corey Schlesinger.
All right. Corey Schlesinger playing Schlesinger. All right.
And then my first baseman, because his dad was like the all-time greatest slow pitch softball home run hitter of all time. Or this could be my DH. This might be my DH. Braun Strowman.
Your DH is Braun Strowman?
Yeah.
All right. I like that.
Have you heard that about his dad? His dad used to like travel around and put on like home run clinics and stuff.
I did not know that, but I did know that Sid Vicious is a big softball guy. Yeah. Psycho Sid. His son was on Big Brother. I don't know if you ever watched that show, but my wife watches that show.
Huh.
All right, so that's not bad. Not bad. We got some heft back there. All right, let's see. Who am I gonna go with? Trying to think intellectually.
I'm trying to avoid thinking football since like that's it's football, so that's what's coming to my mind.
Yeah. Right. All right. So all right. All right, back with the sixth pick. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna because he has good. He's good on the mic. He's a good communicator. You always need a good communicator. At some point, don't need to have a strong arm. Need to have a little athleticism. I'm taking Joe Rogan as my second base. Joe Rogan. All right. He's about the same build as the second baseman too, right? Like kind of.
I would think so.
This is probably a little more muscle.
Probably more muscular.
Yeah. All right.
The second baseman of the late '90s.
Yeah, true that. Yeah. Like
I mean,
Chuck Noblaw, like a Chuck Noblaw. All right. With the 7th pick, who am I going with? Stafford. You know what? I'm going to take. Be fast, strong arm. I don't know if that's where he played, but I'm going to take. You know what? I'm going to take Lamar Jackson as my center fielder.
There you go. I'm also drafting my center fielder, and I have no idea if he's got an arm, but he's really freaking fast.
Okay.
Usain Bolt.
Damn. Okay. I'm sure he can learn how to catch.
I would think so.
He played soccer, so he's got pretty good footwork, right?
Right. I bet he's a beast on the base paths.
Oh, for sure. He's probably trouble. Like a Ricky Henderson.
Right.
That's not bad. Not bad.
Oh, man. First base is, I think, where I want to go because I think that's probably easier to. Big guy. Trying to lay off football, but I just can't. First baseman, because he, could just grab the rock. Like, you figure if the ball's close to him, he's going to get it.
Okay.
Dennis Rodman. I went basketball. Curveball.
Yeah, I like it, though. Dennis Rodman. I could just imagine him over there on first base. The shit talk he had, probably.
Right.
Jeez. Be buck wild. All right. I'm going to stick with – I'm actually going to go basketball as well. And I'm going to stick with a podcast theme a little bit too. And since I essentially kind of stole this from his podcast, he's a little older now, so maybe we're going to put him in right field. We're going to put J.J. Redick, right fielder. He could probably communicate good, get everybody lined up, out there. And then also, I'm sure he's probably got a decent bat. And I mean, if he shoots threes from long range, he could probably throw. So maybe. Or he's right field, least liability. So.
There you
go. All right. So got JJ Redick. All right. So I'm going to go to. I'm going to fill my DH.
Okay.
Seattle legend, much like one of the greatest DHs of all time, Edgar Martinez. And I'm going to go with WNBA superstar, Sue Bird. Smart player, just going to make the right plays.
I thought you were going to go Sean Kemp, who's local to.
He might be a Braun Strowman size, but not in the right way.
I know you're a big WNBA guy, and I was like, is it going Gary Payton or Sean Kemp here?
That's right. I had to go.
About Seahawks. I was just
no. Well, I mean, technically, Russell Wilson plays for the. Well, I guess Russell Wilson might be
right. So, my right fielder, somebody that's like probably, and I'm just working through this as I talk. I have nobody in my mind right now. That might be a defensive liability, but seems athletic enough to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit bigger, has a little bit of a bat, hopefully, but it's tough. I'm going to stick with, because the 90 Bulls were my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I'm going to put Scottie Pippen in right field.
Dude, Scottie Pippen probably could go get that thing. Scottie Pip.
Are we thinking of them in their primes or like right now?
I mean, any which way, probably in their primes, I'm going to guess. Scottie Pippen with the 12th pick. Nice.
Okay, I got a pick lined up again. Is it my turn again, or did I?
It is. It is yours.
I'm going to do my left fielder.
Okay.
super athlete. I assume still probably athletic, even though they're probably like 60 years old and changed their sex. Give me Caitlyn Jenner in left.
Oh, Caitlyn Jenner playing left field. That's what I'm talking about.
Decathlete.
Yeah. Caitlyn Jenner, first female to win the men's decathlon.
Right.
I mean, that is legit. All right. Your outfield is awesome. All right. So I'm going to ask we're just making this up as we go. So I'm going to go rules change here. I did draft my catcher already.
Okay.
Matt Stafford. Can I make a double switch and move him to pitcher, and then so I could take another catcher?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to move Stafford to my quarterback position, or to my pitching position. So Matt Stafford. All right, and then that frees up my catching position to take, because every team's got to have the life of the party. Got to have the guy who's going to get the energy going. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Party hard after the win. Get it going. Played a little catcher for like 3 seconds at Florida State. Give me Burt Kreischer.
Okay. The whole time we were talking, I was like, either going Pat McAfee or Burt Kreischer.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because at left field, that's where I was going, actually. So, all right, Burt Kreischer getting drafted here. That was what, the 14th pick? All right. And with the 5th, what?
Did Burt actually play at Florida State? I knew he was a good prep ball player. I thought I heard him say in a podcast that he could have went to Duke or something.
He did go to Florida State, and I guess he has like a walk-on, and he was there. And then I guess the story he tells is basically like the coach was like, if you want to play baseball, you got a chance, but you got to let all the party and stuff go, and this has got to be your focus. And I guess he just said basically he walked straight off the field, left all of his stuff there, went and got super high with his friends in a room and listened to, I think it was Pink Floyd or something like that. And that was the day his life changed. So, Burt Kreischer.
The Rolling Stone article is the #1 partier in America.
Yeah, he was high school teammates with Brad Radke, I think, though.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, so, and then in left field, because you can't draft a guy who's on your shirt, then that's pretty bad. So, game day vibes. We got Pat McAfee playing left field. He's got the skills. He might get burnt a couple times, but not gonna hurt you. Not gonna hurt you. And also we'll go with the party aspect of this team. So 15th pick.
Pat McAfee. So I think I'm gonna take my shortstop.
Okay.
Going to the ice.
All right.
And I don't know a crap ton about hockey, but I do watch Blackhawks games now and then. And the things that this guy does with his stick and handling the puck are incredible. So I feel like you got to have good hands. And he's playing shortstop, good hands. Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane, shortstop. Okay.
Not super big. So,
I mean,
could have went to second base, but I think I like him at shortstop.
The interesting part is going to be lining up your like double play ball, shortstop and second base. Like that's what I was thinking.
that was my next thought. So I think I'm going to go to third base next.
Okay.
But this is tough. Third base, athletic, is like a bigger guy, but has slimmed down in recent years and is crap. I can't even think of the name of the show, but he's one of the Iron Men or whatever. It's the Rock's show. It's Joe Thomas. I'm taking
Joe Thomas. Okay, Joe Thomas at third base. I like it.
But I can't think of what show that is because he's
Titan Games.
Titan Games, and he's like one of the champions of it.
Not bad. 17th pick there, Joe Thomas, elite athlete. All right. Oh man, so you have second base to pick, and I have third base and shortstop. All right, so I have Joe Rogan as my second baseman. So gonna have maybe shortstop. I gotta figure shortstop out. Third base, bigger guy. Man, this is tough. It's tough when you get down. There's so many good athletes and so many good people across the board that you're like, sure, sure you can have some pretty good teams. Who would be really good at baseball? Oh, you know who I'm gonna take at? I know who I'm gonna take. At my shortstop position, I'm gonna take. He's a little older though. I don't know. Damn, I had somebody in mind, but I was like, I don't know, they're older. We get them in are we getting them in their prime? Did we decide that?
Yeah.
Okay, in their prime. Okay, so in their prime, I'm gonna add my shortstop. He's really good on grass, so he could get those balls that are like a little deep. I'm sure he can play on the dirt because he's kind of used to it. Maybe playing in the French Open on clay.
I like it.
Wimbledon legend Roger Federer is playing shortstop for me. Roger Federer. All right. With the 19th pick in this draft, I got to take my third baseman. Fuck. Bigger guy. You kind of want a taller guy over there, right? Got Braun at first base, so he should be able to catch anything. Goes his way. What do I got? I got a few football players. Got a couple basketball guys and ladies. Got a tennis player. Third base. Who is known to have a rocket arm?
I don't know about a rocket arm, but probably a good swing would be Tiger Woods' ex-wife.
Oh, yeah. They got a hit too. I forgot about that. Yeah. Ah, shit. Third base swing. So, let's go with. Damn, it's so tough because I just keep thinking of fucking Justin Turner in my head.
So you got to think somebody that had COVID now.
Yeah, I know. Who's had it? Who's had it? What a professional. Oh, you know what? No, I don't want to go with that. You know what? I got one. I'm sticking with the life of the party here. He'll get down. He'll be dancing to some music. He'll definitely bring the workout. He's in shape. Bigger stature. Has a good enough arm to play third base. Feel like he probably could hit too. Solid looking dude. Like he's good build. Good build. I'm gonna go Cam Newton at third base.
There you go. There's your COVID.
There's my COVID. Cam Newton. 19th pick. Whoa.
So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for second base until you started talking.
Yeah.
And you talked about playing on the clay at the French Open. And the best person to ever play at the French Open, who just dominates it every year.
Yeah.
He plays tennis left-handed, but I'm pretty sure he's naturally right-handed.
Is that who you thought I was taking?
I thought you were taking Nadal, but that's who I'm taking.
Yeah. Nice. Rafael Nadal. Damn, that's going to be sweet.
I thought I had heard he learned to play tennis left-handed, and he's actually naturally right-handed, but I could be making that up.
It's highly possible.
You can play left-handed.
Evan Fox is a righty that shoots left-handed, so.
I'm a lefty that shoots baskets right-handed, but I'm not very good. So
yeah, so boom. Well, I mean, this is gonna be awesome. I think that's a great draft, and you know what? I'm gonna put it up as a question on our Twitter. which is whatever the fuck we come up with after this for our Twitter handle, which will, if you're watching this, will be on here. If not, find us. I'm sure we'll put some hashtag. Actually, we'll put hashtag. It'll be under hashtag off the rails draft.
Okay.
So that'll be the hashtag off the rails draft. So if you're trying to find us on Twitter, but you don't know because we don't know our Twitter handle yet, off the rails and draft as one hashtag. Just look for that and you will find it. And that's OFFTHERAILSDRAFT draft. Boom. Gems, that was fun. I can't wait to do that more often.
Yeah, I enjoy stuff like that a lot.
And we'll come up next week. We'll do a little research. That one was completely on the fly. Right. So we'll come up with a theme during the week, and then we can research it. So, yeah. And then do we want to do the rest of our actual draft?
Our DFS draft? Is that what
yeah.
Yeah, I think
we got time.
Yeah. I mean,
okay. We'll do it.
52 minutes in.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do a quick little thing on it. Do you want me to bring it up, or you want me to leave, or just talk about it?
Bring it up, we can, because then we can kind of I have stuff written down, but
okay,
probably work better if we saw it on the screen.
Yeah. Let me pull it up and share screen. Awesome. Well, sweet. So that is our DFS up, and I know you wrote down a bunch of stuff. I didn't write anything down, but I did look over it. So I do have some input that is valuable. I can't believe Derrick Henry, highest priced player this week, but he is playing Cincinnati. So you're doing the Sunday, right?
Yeah, the main slate.
So I just wanted to make sure, because I know Thursday you can play it the Thursday through the Monday slate.
Yeah, that one's always been everything I've read and heard about that is that's such a crapshoot.
Well, it's so hard because it's a good way to make money. Also, this is a quick DFS tip. It's a good way to make money if the Thursday game sucks, because people will jam 8 players into the Thursday because then they'll be in the top because they want to see themselves winning early.
Right.
And then most likely you can beat all those people out. So as long as you're not jamming people into the Thursday game, unless it makes sense, then you're probably off to a pretty good start. So, because most people just don't want a lineup sitting in their thing for 4 days, but then also without any points for 3 hours. So, So if you can get over the psychology of it, it's not bad. All right, so where do we want to start here, sir? I see the games up top here. We have Tennessee versus Cincinnati, Las Vegas versus Cleveland, Minnesota versus Green Bay, New England versus Buffalo, the Jets, who are garbage, versus the Chiefs, Pittsburgh versus Baltimore, Indy versus Detroit, the Rams versus the Dolphins, the Chargers versus Denver, and New Orleans versus Chicago, and then San Francisco versus Seattle.
I really wish, and I don't even know what the Sunday night game is off the top of my head, but I would love to be going into primetime Sunday night with.
Hell yeah!
I used to have the main slate used to include Sunday and Monday Night Football too. I think, didn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Before they switched it, and then I think for a little while they even did Sunday night. But I think the logic there is they want everybody to either win or lose their money. So you're either pushing, so you're going to enter that Sunday night game or the Sunday Monday combo, and then or you're up by a ton of money and you're going to put that money back in. It's a psychology thing again with how people bet. So
okay, so if we start at quarterback, I feel I think that's a good building block. Usually it's quarterback, right?
For sure. Yeah.
The highest over-unders of the week are the Raiders and Browns at 52.5.
Okay.
The Vikings and Packers at 52.5.
Okay.
And the Titans and Bengals at 53.5.
Not bad.
So
I think all those are solid.
The Browns, so little tidbits here. The Browns against wide receivers, their defense is ranked 31st.
That's not good.
So that conceivably means Derek Carr throwing to Henry Ruggs? Against tight ends, they're 25th too. So the Browns are not good against the pass.
So that means Waller is very valuable.
The Vikings are 29th against wide receivers and 12th against tight ends.
Yeah.
So the Vikings are garbage.
Bad.
But the Packers are favored by 6.5. So, but I mean,
can we start actually somewhere other than quarterback?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I think it's a no-brainer to put Kansas City as a defense
against the Jets. Yeah,
after what they did last week,
they're probably like 5K too, but whatever.
God, they have to be. But at least then we'll know, and we can change it at the end.
Right.
If we can't
we
fit
have
it in.
the most expensive one in there, and like if we need money elsewhere, or
Kansas City is 5K, and they are the top. All right, so
Rams though playing against Tua.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, it depends if Tua has a game. Fuck Indy being third against Detroit. But anyway, but yeah. So I threw the Chiefs in, so that way at least we have like ability to move. But I think that's a pretty no-brainer and might even be chalky. So we might need to come off that one for a good.
Right. The other game. So the Packers are 15th and 5th against wide receivers and tight ends.
Yeah.
The Vikings or the Packers defense is decent.
Yeah.
So the Titans and Bengals game is kind of interesting. The Titans are favored by 6, but the Titans defense is 26th against wide receivers and 20th against tight ends. So Joey Burrow, is he?
Damn.
What does Joey Burrow cost?
7,600.
More than Tannehill?
More than Tannehill.
The Bengals defense is 12th against wide receivers, but 27th against tight ends. So like that makes me like Jonnu Smith if he's healthy.
And here's the kicker though, right? So you can get Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and AJ Green for all of them are 64 to 5,800, which is super cheap. So you could pair Burrow better,
right,
and probably run it back with Brown in that game if you think it's going to be a passing game.
Right. And logically, and I think Mixon, I don't know if Mixon's still going to be out or not, but
Mixon is questionable currently.
You would think the Bengals are going to have to be throwing the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, he did not participate, by the way. Joe Mixon did not participate in practice today.
And Joe Burrow rushes for touchdowns every now and then too.
Yeah.
I kind of like Joe Burrow.
Kind of do too. I'll be honest with you. You started talking. It's got a good score. He has some solid performances. Team's probably going to be down, but he's had a 20 point performance. He had a 34 point performance, a 17, a 16, a 24, and a 17. So he's had one week against Baltimore where he had 5 points. Mm-hmm. Every other week has been over 16.1 points, and even including a couple 20, 24, and 34 performances.
And like Tannehill's typically been pretty good, but like Derrick Henry will steal a touchdown or two away from him.
For sure. And keep in mind that last week he had a 34-point performance, and yes, he did have a rushing touchdown and 3 passing touchdowns, but he also had an interception and 3 fumbles.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Like last year, Jameis Winston was like a lock every week to score a shit ton of points and throw a bunch of interceptions.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's wild. He's passing. He's a dude attempted 61 passes in a game. So
he's gonna have options. Even if he you get -1 point for an interception, I think.
Now his 2 biggest. Now this is where my brain goes, right? His 2 biggest performances of the year, though, for him. 24.54 and 34.64 did come against the Browns. So didn't you say the Browns total was very high?
The Browns total is
against the Raiders.
So that Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Derek Carr is cheaper. I like it.
And I think maybe after Burrow had a big game last week, people go to Burrow. And you can keep talking. I'm going to go fill my son's water up, and then I'll be right back. But keep talking through Derek Carr stats for sure.
Okay. So last week, Derek Carr. Okay, Derek Carr against the who'd they play last week? Derek Carr last week against Tampa. 24 of 36, 284 yards, 2 passing touchdowns,
And I'm back.
1 interceptions, 2 rushes,
right.
19 rush yards, 1 fumble for 20.26 points.
You still talking about Derek?
I just rattled off his stats for last week. It took me. There's like probably 30 seconds of me going.
He's four of his last 5 have been over 20-point performances.
He pretty much averages about 20 points a game.
By the way, also, did you pull up his game log?
Yeah, that's what I got up on my phone.
The defense is 17th, 12th, 1st, 10th, 11th, and 5th.
Yeah, that defense is not great.
And he's playing the 29th.
I like Derek Carr.
Dude, I like Derek Carr, and I never said that. Shout out to Trash Man Ronnie.
Oh yeah, Ronnie will appreciate you saying that of all people.
I know. Me and Ronnie have made amends of our fight that we had over Derek Carr and the Raiders, but I do like the Raiders actually, surprisingly.
The fact this is a weird game because the Raiders are favored or are 2.5-point dogs to the Browns, and I feel like the Raiders are better than the Browns.
I do too.
I'm going to bet probably decently.
And he's higher than Baker Mayfield, who Baker Mayfield's coming off a big performance, right? Too
5 touchdowns.
So he had a ton of points. So I think if people look at that thing, they're going to go Baker over him, and if they're going to go up, they're going to go to Burrow. So Derek might go under own. What?
Look at Baker's stats again. He's got a pattern.
Oops, sorry. It's taking a second.
It goes double digit, single digit, double digit, lower. Oh, it just was like every other game. It was.
I mean, it is though. I mean, really.
Recently,
and if you look at it over here, I mean, I guess the Indy was 4th, but that seems like such an anomaly. Wasn't Rivers was terrible in that game? I think gave him good field position a bunch.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, I really like Carr.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't say that often, but I do like Carr. So you want to put Carr in?
Yeah, and we automatically have to pair him with Waller, I think.
Yeah. Do we want to go Waller and a wide receiver or just Waller?
Let's start off with just Waller. I mean, the
Bengals tight end, I mean, he's just a beast anyway. He's going to get all the targets.
Right.
And he's basically a wide receiver.
Yeah, essentially.
Dude,
the Raiders wide receivers? Renfro, Ruggs.
Dude, and even that might be a good game to run back with Landry because Odell's out.
Right.
So he's going to get more targets. Yeah, Ruggs.
I think Higgins scored twice last week or something after.
Yeah, Ruggs has had that one good game, but other than that, nothing to write home about.
Probably good with Waller and Carr.
Look at Higgins' line, though. You see that?
Yeah, I thought he scored like twice last week. After.
I mean, it looks like it's good. I mean, 10, 8, basically, and 14. And he got that 8 on 2 targets. And he didn't score a touchdown last week. He just had 6 targets for 6 receptions.
Oh, wow.
Dude, that might be a...
Is that a recency
bias? Oh, wait. That's probably because Odell went down, huh?
Right. So
yeah,
they didn't really have a game plan for him.
But he's mad cheap though, so he could be a good run back, and if most people might go to Jarvis anyway, just because of having nobody else they think takes targets, like lazy DFS people. Dude, I mean, I wouldn't mind running it back with old Higgins over here.
Save us some money too.
So we're doing Waller.
Yeah.
Running it back with Higgins. And then that sits us with that's that game stack basically. And we're still have 7,000 per pick with our defense already set as the Chiefs.
That's not bad. I would think the freaking Chiefs are favored by 19.5 points. So Edwards, Hilaire, or Le'Veon probably isn't bad, but it sucks that they're probably splitting some stuff.
Let's go check them out though. So that could be interesting. KC. Okay. And they use Tyreek too out the back too.
Yeah.
And it's Andy Reid, so who the fuck knows?
Right.
Let's see. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they were up by a lot last week, correct? Pretty early.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he only had 8 rush attempts for 46 yards last week, but he had a touchdown and he had 4 targets. He's also had 4 targets the week before and had 26 carries for 161 yards. So,
you keep going. I
yeah.
Just outside.
Yeah, no problem. Man, so Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Let's see what Le'Veon did last week because he could be an interesting. Didn't do much, but he did get 6 rushes for 39 yards, so become more of a package in there. Let's see what Tyreek did last week because someone's got to score points down in the red zone once they take the ball away. 14. He got 10 targets last week. Dude, he still gets all the targets. If he goes for 2 TDs, he's had a touchdown in 5 of the 7 weeks. Dude, Tyreek's not bad, but he's expensive. Let's see, but he's also crushing it. So, I would say, let's see what Kelsey's doing. Kelsey's having some good years too, and that didn't do much last week, but I mean, did get 2 TDs and 1 TD, so he could have had some decent. I don't know if I'd love that run back, to be honest with you, but I mean, definitely could be a thing. Let's see some of these other running back situations. So I was listening off. Clyde Edwards-Helaire hasn't really done a ton. No. I mean, he didn't do much last week, and he did have like a pretty good week the week before. Bell had like 6 carries for like 39 yards last week, so he didn't really take away from him. And Hill, I think the Chiefs are a classic case of like there's so many options. So DFS wise, I don't know if that makes sense to even pair them with a running back unless you have one running back that falls in the end zone twice.
Right.
You could probably find better value, and Edwards-Helaire is so high priced that I don't know that he's worth it, to be honest with you.
Okay. So another game that I was kind of looking at here, but who knows if Aaron Jones is healthy or what running back the Packers are going to play, but they are favored by 6.5 points.
Yeah.
The Titans, obviously Derrick Henry's a good play. They're favored by 6.
Yeah.
But I think that's one we just kind of see if we can fit in, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think Kareem Hunt's a good play? Nick Chubb's on the IR.
How many receptions? Is he still catching a bunch of balls like he did before?
That's what I was just looking at. So like he had 4 catches, 3 catches, or sorry, 3 catches, 2 catches, 3 catches, 2 catches, but he's had about 3 to 4 targets every week, and he had 6 one week, but he has 4 receiving touchdowns this year.
I like Kareem Hunt. Do we want to do a super stack there with Higgins as well, or just throw Hunt in there?
I don't mind it because if it's going to win, it's going to have to be a pretty big score, right? Derek Carr's going to have to throw for a couple touchdowns.
Right.
So they're going to have to get some touchdowns to keep it paced. So I don't mind it, and they're cheap enough. And
Kareem Hunt's kind of expensive, but
look at what he's did. So that's the 20. The Raiders are the 29th against the run.
Yeah.
So it's a good matchup. But if you look at it, look at what he's done against the teams that are in the green. Cincinnati 17.7, 23.1, and then he did against the 27th ranked Dallas team 19.1.
I like it.
I don't mind it, and I think it could be interesting. But I say we throw it in for now. That's okay. We're super stacking that game, but I mean could be that kind of game,
right?
And we're still at 68. We still have 68 per player to use. So, who else do you think running back wise? What other games are going to be big ones for us?
So big favorites. Oh, the Seahawks-Niners game is also a 53-point total.
For real?
Because it's written on the other side of my sheet.
Oh, that's fine.
Seahawks are awful against wide receivers, by the way.
They are, yeah. They're real bad.
who knows who the 49ers running back is? It's probably Jerick McKinnon, and I bet he's fairly cheap.
Probably did. Yeah, let me pull the game up.
Seahawks are 13th against the run.
Late hammer too. That's not bad. Late game.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Chris Carson's questionable with a foot. Raheem Morstead is in IR. Jeff Wilson Jr. So yeah, Jarrett McKinnon's probably. Tevin Coleman's on IR. It's got to be Jarrett McKinnon.
The only two, yeah, are McKinnon and McHasty or whatever.
The only thing is he has done nothing the last couple of weeks.
So they said, last week they were resting him because he had such a big workload early in the year.
Yeah.
And the week before, Mostert was back until he got hurt.
Okay, so it says the 49ers may have to rely on McKinnon heavily in the coming weeks after Jeff Wilson, 17 carries, 112 yards, and 3 touchdowns, was carted off the field late in the 33-6 win over New England with a high ankle sprain. So, I mean, they're clearly running the ball. Jimmy G is not like a high-volume passer. Let's see what Wilson was doing before that. And we can kind of piece together what the team's been doing. So that was basically his first game, really. He had 31 points last week, just so you know.
Yeah.
So that's massive. Let's see and I think Mostert had a really good first game, didn't he?
Yeah, he was hurt for a while. And then
so he had 3.1 in his first game, and then he had 17-7, and then 13-4, and then they are running.
Yeah.
And Tevin Coleman was the round 2, so let's see what Tevin Coleman produced this year. Not much, but he did add on a little bit. 14 carries in that one game. So, I mean, there's the volume's there. You would think.
Yeah.
You got to figure that's a Kittle McKinnon game.
Probably. Seattle's so bad against the wide receivers though. Like Ayuk or Deebo Samuel might not be bad.
Yeah. Dude, this guy's not bad either. Look at this Jermichael Hasty guy. He's had some run, but I don't know if
it's supposed to be him and McKinnon. So they're the only two that are probably going to be active. They got Juszczyk or whatever, the fullback too.
Yeah,
so it's almost kind of scary to pick one or the other because if you pick wrong, you might have a guy with 3 points. Like last week with the Packers, they said they were going to give AJ Dillon some extra carries and stuff, and I was like, well, that's a sneaky cheap play at 4,500.
Yeah, because the other guy was just balling.
Yeah.
6,000 though is not bad for Jarrett McKinnon. I mean, if you can get the volume out of him, and he has been a feature back before,
right?
And they signed him to be a feature back.
They did.
So, and then you could, I would say you could almost pick one of those receivers for. But damn, Deebo Samuels is out with a hamstring.
So Ayuk, he's 5,900.
Yeah.
Look at his.
He's got to be. We were about to This is how you win $1 million, folks. All right, he's actually had some good games.
He has,
and that was against New England, who was the first-ranked defense.
He will run the ball to that. Yeah.
Dude,
I think he's got 2 rushing touchdowns on the year too.
Does he for real?
I think so. I mean, he got to 18.
He had to have. Yeah, he got to 18 with 5 catches and 7.
I point to the screen like somebody can see what I'm pointing at.
He had to have then. Yeah, let's see. Receiving touchdowns, rushing, receptions, targets. Yeah, it doesn't show on here, but I'm sure he does. Yeah. Let me pull him up. On actual in an actual tab that you won't be able to see, but I will. Let's see.
What matters?
Brandon Ayuk. Dude, that might be a steal, to be honest with you. Because 5,900 is mad cheap. Let's see. Can you see on my other screens or no? When I pull it up. Oh, sweet. So he is stats for the year. Let's see. 49ers. Dude, this might be an interesting play here. Let's see. He has 20 receptions, 280 yards, 1 touchdown. Can you not give me his rushing stats? He's had clearly. Oh, here they are. He has 4 carries and 2 touchdowns. Yes. So that's a dual threat right there.
Yeah.
Dude, him and McKinnon catches balls too, doesn't he?
I would think so. Are you wanting to play both of them?
Dude, I was thinking it might not be a bad play.
You're probably not wrong, and that'll be pretty unique having.
And it would spread out Jimmy's touchdowns if they both hit. That it wouldn't give him like, because especially if like Jarrett McKinnon falls in the end zone twice running it, and then Ayak takes one in running and then a catch, then Jimmy's not really going to be a viable quarterback for that.
Right.
So, I mean, and they're probably going to try to run the ball, especially, I mean, at least early, because I can only imagine they're going to want to try to keep that ball out of Russ's hands.
Right. The 49ers defense is really good. Like in my head, I'm like, if this is going to be a battle, like,
yeah, Russ threw
DK, but
Russ threw 3 picks last week. I mean, I don't think it's a bad. I think it might be it's an interesting stack because you could literally go like, because that does seem to be the Russ way, right? Like look at what he does. You just have to pick right, or maybe play the roster twice with different options. But look at DK; he had 2 touchdowns and basically all of these catches, and then on the other one, Lockett did almost nothing, and then Lockett gets all the targets in the other games. So it's like
I texted you that I hate the Seattle wide receivers because
look, he had 20 targets last week, had 13 targets, and he had 4 and 5 in between.
So it's just Wilson picking the better matchup, like who's open or what? Like,
yeah, I would assume. But look at Lockett had 3 touchdowns and 3 touchdowns. He's had 3 touchdowns twice this year.
It's almost like a if it ain't broke, don't fix it thing. Where like Lockett keeps catching the ball and scoring, I'm just going to keep throwing it to him.
Wonder. So they played last year, correct?
Both of them,
obviously, because they played this. They played. That's a division game.
Yeah.
So what's that? What did I be? 2019.
Yep.
2019 Seahawks. Getting in the weeds here, man. This is how you get DFS lineups that suck, maybe sometimes, or don't. Let's see. Just check the backlog of what they did last year. So Seahawks won 43-16 last year, and they won 20. No, that's just kidding. Don't even know what I'm talking about here. That might have been earlier this year. No, that was last year. So the Seahawks beat the 49ers 16-43, and they beat them, or the 49ers beat them 26-23. So let's go look at these games and see who had, maybe you might see a trend here. Doug Baldwin was on the team last year?
Yeah, wow.
Was Doug Baldwin on the team last year?
Maybe. I was thinking about him the other day.
Oh, this is 18. Sorry, they took me to the wrong year. It's awesome. They gave me like the Super Bowl in 2019, not 2019. So I guess 2019-2020 schedule. So stupid. I have to do that. So the 40 now they're giving me this year's. Man, fuck you guys. All right. Which player reference when I need it? 19. I'm gonna go to ESPN. They probably know better than most people. So this is for 2019. All right. So the overtime game, 27-24. They beat the 49ers, and then they lost 26-21. So they're playing tight games. It looks like Metcalf had the most yardage in both games last year. And Russell didn't have anything crazy. Nothing like nuts that he like. It was like 232 and 233. So pretty consistent on both of those games. And they were tight games. So I think it's going to be a tight game. Division games usually are. Let's see. So Russ threw 2 touchdowns in the last game, and looks like DK 6 catches for 81 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Lockett 6 catches, 51 yards and a touchdown. So pretty standard. Debo Samuels did have 5 catches for 102 yards, and Kittle had 7 catches for 86 yards. In case anyone was wondering, a couple passes to the running backs, and Mostert and Debo Samuels had a touchdown running.
So Ayuk is gonna jump into Debo's role, right?
Yeah, I like that. Let's see what they did in the first game. This is literally how nerdy. This is like you're getting the inside view of how I make my lineups. This is how nerdy I get. Is this how nerdy you get, Jebs?
Yeah, if I have time to get into it, sometimes it's like late, and I'm just like, oh fuck, I gotta throw some lines in.
So I did last week.
I just
sort of just went with
my
feel
because since it's so cheap, I've been playing like 10 lines or 11 lines a week.
I'm with you.
And it seems like my very first line I make up usually cashes, and my last line. But it's my last line's like, shit, I need some exposure to these guys. So
makes sense. Okay, so the first game last year, DK had 6 catches for 70 yards, no touchdowns. Tyler Lockett had 3 catches for 26 yards. But Deebo Samuels had 8 catches for 112 yards, and he also had no rushing. But Tevin Coleman and Mostert and Burita all had multiple catches, so a lot of that kind of stuff, and like 40 yards. So pretty low pace game there. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe you don't need. Maybe those Seahawks receivers are overpriced though for trying to get anything. So
Lockett 72. What is Metcalf, like 73 or 71?
Yeah, 72 for Lockett, 73 I think for Metcalf, 78 for Metcalf.
Oh yeah.
I do like. I think we do use Ayuka though. I like that.
Yeah.
And then it's questionable. Do you think you run McKinnon and just?
Well, I think we see if we can get Derrick Henry in there somehow. I think if we can get Derrick Henry, like
we're at 7
flex spot. And I was also reading, or I saw a tweet, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but the flex, this probably plays more if you're doing head-to-heads or smaller fields.
Yeah.
But your flex should be somebody playing in the late game. That way you can
flex them out.
So say we're really high up in points, and we see somebody similar in points has a running back left going into the late games.
Makes sense. You would probably adjust after you're done. Like say we have 4 wide receivers, you move like Ayuka to the flex because he's 4,200, or he's the late game, or whoever's in the late game. Yeah,
right.
That makes sense. Yeah,
try to squeeze a lower guy in there, a lower owned guy, hoping that.
For sure.
I never take advantage of the late game swap, but I should.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's like, I'm like, they're all like, it's nice sometimes, but like, it's like more so like if you get like an injury or something like that, you can kind of swap it out. But, so we have 7,100, and we have a running back spot left. We have a wide receiver spot and a flex spot.
Okay, so I just kind of want to look. I circled teams that are kind of shitty against wide receivers. So the bottom 3 these are rankings. I guess I don't need to be a rankings whore, but Seattle's the worst. And then 31st is the Browns. So like we've got access to both of those. And then 30th is actually the Ravens.
Huh.
Or no, did I do that wrong? 30th might have been the Steelers. I might have wrote that backwards. I think 30th probably was the Steelers, but I don't know if I really trust too many. Maybe Hollywood Brown.
Yeah. The only bad thing about the Ravens is like I feel like if Jackson's throwing touchdowns, he's also scooting on the ground, so you almost need him.
Right. If I could play Lamar Jackson at probably running back this week.
Yeah, why can't we put him in the flex? What the fuck? Good.
The Dolphins are also actually kind of shitty against the pass.
Yeah.
So like a Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods, maybe.
I mean, for sure on that.
Chiefs wide receiver.
I mean, it's not a bad play. Yeah.
Titans aren't great. We talked about the Titans Bengals earlier, so like a T. Higgins or Tyler Boyd.
I was just looking at Tyler Boyd. But Tyler Boyd's like he has a 22-point game, but that was but I mean, Burrow had a game last week, you know what I mean? Like he did have one earlier in the year where he didn't have a touchdown, then he had 13 targets too. He's getting the targets though. I mean, he's getting like 8, 13, 6, 8, 13 targets.
And I'd say targets are typically what I end up looking at.
I do too, because you can't really. The interesting one I saw, and he always kind of goes under owned a little bit, mostly because he plays a lot of late games, and because he's on the Chargers.
Right. 25th, the Broncos are against the pass.
Yeah, and he's been getting.
He got a shit ton of targets last week.
13 last week. He had 2 the week before, but then he had 11, 19, 10, 8. And he only has 2 receiving touchdowns this year, which is kind of a little low.
I love Keenan Allen in DFS.
I do too.
Always is catching.
I do too. Do you want to throw him in?
I like it.
He's got a potential. He's always got the potential to have like a 30-point game at least once. He dismantled the Jaguars, and he also had a really good game against Carolina.
And I love the fact that he wears like loose fitting sweatshirts and underneath his.
Shit's hilarious. That dude is wild.
Is.
I like it. We should put him in.
Yeah, I like Keenan Allen.
We're putting Keenan Allen in then. All right, we can also move him to the flex too because he's a late game.
Right.
So 69.50. We got a running back and a flex left.
So if we can find a discount player here, that'd be cool. I don't see a way we're gonna get Derrick Henry in right now.
9,500. You would
find a cheaper defense we like.
You would have to go. I'm 40. It would leave us with 4,400. I think.
Pick a different defense.
Yeah, we'd have to definitely pick a different defense.
And Derrick Henry,
not by much either, though, because you could just find somebody for 4,500. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Derrick Henry's probably pretty chalky too.
You would think so, but
that's a lot of money.
The bad thing is you have to produce so much if you're Derrick Henry.
Right.
And if Tannehill even throws a couple touchdowns, I mean, Henry becomes.
We need everybody to get like what 3 times your value.
Yeah, like here's the thing, right? If you get the 26-39 point Derrick Henry, cool. But if you get the 8.4, the 18.8, and if you don't get over 20,
right,
it's not really worth it.
Right. I agree. Who else are the top running backs?
I don't know. I was trying to see how, and they're a 19th ranked defense, so they're not a bad rushing defense. Cincinnati. I mean, they're not great, but they're not terrible. And if Joe Burrow gets any kind of up early, they shouldn't be running. You wouldn't think.
So the Bears are 14th against the run.
Yeah, and they're playing
the
New Orleans. Ooh, Alvin Kamara.
That's why I was saying that, was because I knew it was Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara. And is Thomas back this week?
I'm not sure. He's such a weird that thing with Michael Thomas. Who fucking knows? The Bears are shitty against. The Saints are shitty. Both teams are kind of shitty against tight ends there.
Dude, I did not realize Kamara rarely runs the ball.
14, 11, 19, 6, 13.
I mean, that's not like, but look how many targets he gets, though. He's touching the ball.
Targets, if I can find a running back that gets a bunch of targets, like, even though McCaffrey's always expensive, like, McCaffrey is fantastic. So what about Mike Davis? Like, the Panthers are playing.
Yeah, definitely. So
never mind. That's a Thursday night game.
So here, look what. So Kamara, and it's reasonable. So say Kamara runs the ball 13 times for 79 yards, right? But he also catches the ball 13 times for 139 yards, and he got
dream big.
What I'm saying, like that doesn't seem abnormal, though.
Right.
Like, that's just a couple big. That's only 27 touches. That's less than most running backs.
So if we put in Kamara, he's $500 cheaper than Derrick Henry. So that's going to give us $4,900 to work with if we don't adjust the.
Yeah, I mean they are the 14th ranked rushing defense, but I mean still.
The issue doing these on like a Wednesday, like if we could like record Saturday and pump it out.
Yeah, right.
Business.
Is there any
big? I think DFS podcast record like today.
Oh yeah, for sure. Damn. So
Can we get carry on points for run blocking or pass blocking,
right? Carry on. That'd be awesome. Are there any major injuries though that like would affect who's playing there? I guess that's not adjusted for.
Okay, so what is?
Who's running for the Chargers?
The Chargers.
Melvin Gordon,
Justin Jackson, and Joshua Kelly. The Broncos are the first ranked run defense.
Oh yeah, so you don't want that. Don't want that at all. Now, if Chris Carson doesn't go, but they're the second ranked defense, never mind.
Yeah.
So that could be an interesting.
So if we're looking at lower,
but we also don't have to go. We also don't have to go running back. We can go flex too. It's the flex. We could go wide receiver or tight end.
So the Lions are also crappy against the running backs, and I think Nyheim Hines was 4,900, and he's the second string running back in.
Yeah, I saw that.
So let's see.
With Jonathan Taylor is in front of him, but yeah, let's see. Hines.
He's getting targets.
He's getting targets. He didn't run the ball at all. He's in the pass game, so if he gets in the end zone, I mean, but he's he's touchdown dependent for sure.
Right. So let's look slightly above him because, like, if we do change the defense,
see,
J.K. Dobbins is Mark Ingram hurt, but they're playing Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but that's a toss-up game, right? That's a divisional game. Who knows what they're going to do? Benny Snell, is Benny Snell still getting snaps, or
he seems like he scores every now and then?
Yeah, he's like an average guy. He's touchdown dependent. He got two carries for. You definitely need to hit a home run with this position right here, right?
Right. Rex Burkhead.
Yeah, James White's up here too.
Okay.
So it depends.
I used to just always fill in James White because he'd get
he catches a lot.
Targets. Zach Moss is the backup in.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Mark Ingram is he out?
J.K. Dobbins. That's
cool. He is not participating in Wednesday's practice, despite having a bye week to rest up. Still hasn't progressed enough in recovery of his mid to high. Could be. Backfield will be led by Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins if Ingram is forced to miss more time. But the Steelers are playing really good defense. But didn't they just give up? Did they give up a decent game to Henry last week?
Henry had a touchdown at least.
So I don't know. Oh shit!
My thoughts are Lamar Jackson is probably going to steal some runs because he'll be scrambling. But I also like to think the teams that are good against the rush are also going to be good at the pass rush. So there's going to be a lot of dump offs to the running backs. You would think
that's true too, right? So J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards is 4,600, by the way. And they just said that him and if he was out, and look at he's got some carry. He's had some carries.
14 rushing attempts under 2 yards per carry.
10 for 73 here.
Not bad.
Now if he's the full-time guy, that could be that's a kind of flyer. You're like, oh, that could be.
Are they going to want to run the shiny new object though in J.K. Dobbins? Pretty high draft pick, right?
Maybe. Do you want to bust him out against Pittsburgh though?
No, not really.
If as a lead back guy,
So, oh gosh, the Chiefs and Jets, but those guys are expensive. Let's go to the defense and see how much. See if there are any defenses or that were cheaper.
Yeah, let's check that out. Let's check that out. I'm sure there are.
Right.
So
saving $100, I liked the Rams against Tua.
Yeah. So in theory, we go to defense here.
I like to run down to the very.
Yeah, that's what I had it already on that game. That's why I was like, what the heck? Why is there nobody down here? Yeah, you can run it all the way down the bottom to usually 3,000, 2,500 for the Jets.
Gosh, the amount of flexibility you could get.
Jesus, did we start any Chiefs?
We didn't, but
we did not.
No, there's no chance they.
Let's see what it creates though. How about that? Because it could be worth it, right? 7,400.
7,400. So if the Jets get any sort of positive points, what did the Broncos score last week point wise against the Chiefs? Because the Chiefs did score 2 defensive touchdowns. Or a defense special team.
That is true. So So the Chiefs did that last week. But the thing is, we don't even. Oh yeah, but that would take away from them. They're actually scoring 4.5 points per game.
Okay, have they played anybody
Let's see.
Chief-worthy?
Buffalo, they got 20. They got 5 points against. Miami 6 points, 8 points against Denver, 7 points again against the Buffalo Bills. They got 0 points. The only game they got 0 points was against Indy. And they did nothing. It looks like they're getting multiple sacks per game and multiple interceptions per game. And they did get a defensive touchdown against Denver, which helps.
So their rankings are 26th against running backs, 13th against wide receivers, and 14th against tight ends.
That means
I mean, I don't hate it. So who is right above the Jets? But 2,500 is such a good price.
so cheap. It's like ridiculously cheap. It's like when they made TK Hernandez $1,500 one time on accident, and I used him and I made so much money. And he did hardly anything, just because he was so cheap.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, why am I looking at tight ends? I'm about to be looking at defense. Let's see. So defense right above them is the Vikings, and they're $600 more.
Wow.
And they're playing the number one defense in Green Bay.
Number one offense.
Or number one offense. He's playing against the Cincinnati Bengals, 33.
Traded Carlos Dunlap.
The Detroit against Indy could be interesting at 34.
I actually
I don't mind it.
He's not playing, but I don't think Phillip Rivers is very good anymore.
He's definitely turnover prone.
Right.
But yeah.
Can you pull up Phillip Rivers' stats and see what?
Yeah, I could definitely pull up Phillip Rivers' stats. Let's do that.
So they're like 6,500 to spend if we take the Lions.
Yeah. Damn, Phillip Rivers is down there, bro.
There he is.
There he is. Phillip Rivers. Had a good game last week. But I mean, if you're looking, he's
interceptions 1, 2, 1, 2,
0, 0, 1, 2. He's on pace to have 0 against us. If it's,
I think, and I kind of like the Lions' defense. I think there's more potential there than there would be for the Jets' defense.
But look at Phillip Rivers against the Jets' defense. 17 for 21, 217, 1 touchdown.
Only scored 12 points. And then they must have had a shit ton of rushing touchdowns against them or something, because how did they score 0 points? The Jets score 0 points against that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing, is it's weird. So it's all about quarterback, right? It's like who's the quarterback that's gonna fuck up most this week and throw 3 picks? You got a potential for it to be Tua.
Right. But that's a $4,900 defense. That's not going to save us money here.
Let's see. Tennessee, Tannehill's solid. Burrow could fumble and intercept a lot, so the Tennessee defense could be playable.
Right. I think they were. I'll pull up the defenses on my phone.
Yeah. Baker could always throw 70,000 picks, so the Raiders could be a thing. So, I think I'm staying away from Minnesota, the Minnesota Green Bay game. Green Bay's defense is probably overrated. I don't know if they get enough sacks.
Titans are 4,600.
So that's not helping much.
Raiders are. Where are the Raiders?
They should be pretty cheap, probably. I would assume
3,500. So $100 more than the Lions.
So not terrible. So that's an option. The Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put the Raiders as an option. I'm writing down all the options as we go. Minnesota is Green Bay's defense pricey?
4,000.
I would like to be in the 3,000, anywhere in the 3,000 range. The Jets are super cheap. I think I'm going to put them on there just in case. That's like a flyer, but
the Saints are 3,600 and they're playing the Bears.
Yeah. Now, what about and they would be a correlation with our running back.
It's going to be outside. The other thing we need to probably start doing,
looking at the weather.
Freaking Joe, just DFS, because we're like almost an hour into.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right. This is off the rails, but
right.
So let's hammer home this defense real quick and figure that out.
I think we got to go Saints, Raiders, or Lions.
I don't mind the Jets though.
No,
so, you know, they're like so crazy.
They're gonna. You would think they'd be low owned, but they're so low price that people might just throw them in there.
And they're playing the Chiefs though.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people will be like, "Oh, Mahomes is gonna have a field day."
Well,
so it could be a double dip, right? It could be a double dip. If Mahomes gets overplayed because they're playing the Jets, and he does bad, and the Jets somehow have a couple defensive plays.
Or kick return.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
Andre Roberts.
I mean, fair enough, right?
Why don't we go to the
Shit.
flex spot? We know $7,400 is what the Jets gets us. So
What's the and the Raiders were 3,500?
3,600?
3,600. So that gets us up
3,500 were the Raiders. So the Jets
so,
get us 7,400.
74. So they get us 64. So
Right.
we're looking
the Lions would get us 65.
Yeah. So we're looking at 74.
63. So anywhere between 6,300 and 7,400 is where we need to be looking.
All right. So 74 gets us. Cooper Kupp. Yeah. Jonathan.
All three of those guys. So one of them will blow up.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp. Yeah. Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Lockett. Dude, the New England got their ass spanked last week by the team. So, I mean, Buffalo could have a decent game.
Stephon Diggs just gets targets.
By the way, was Buffalo a cheap defense?
I doubt it.
Because New England played like garbage the last 2 weeks.
Bills are 4,500.
So they're expensive. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Mark Andrews. That is an inside division. I mean, that could be an interesting play. Jamal Williams had a bomb ass game last week, but I think Adam Jones should be back probably.
11,000. Aaron Jones.
God damn it. I do that every week. Yeah, he had a big game last week. Robert Woods. That's against Miami. Could be an interesting play. James Conner's coming on. Division game. I thought he was 7. Oh yeah, he had a 22-point game, and I guess he's been like average, but he does get a lot of rushing touchdowns.
I like the on the screen. This is nice.
Yeah, it's nice, right? Allen Robinson's out or questionable?
He's got a concussion.
Oh shit! So that might
cheap options for the Bears at wide receiver then, unless you think Jimmy Graham at tight end.
I was thinking that makes the Saints defense a little bit more impressive looking.
You're right, it does, because then the Bears like second and third wide receivers that would be bumping up, because I doubt he's playing if he had a concussion.
Yeah, for sure.
Darrell Mooney, and he gets a crap ton of targets, and I bet he's stupid cheap.
Yo, you know who was good last week and coming back on?
Whom?
Juju Smith-Schuster, 65.
I traded in my season-long league. I traded Zeke Elliott for Tyreek Hill, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Devin Singletary. I'm in last place in that freaking league. I'm in fourth in season-long points. I've had terrible luck. Like, I played the guy that had Tyler Lockett last week.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift. Let's go. No, just kidding. Dude, but look, Deontay Johnson, questionable. So Juju might be not a bad play, to be honest with you.
And how much was he?
65.
So that means we can get I think if we play the Saints, we can't get him. I think we need 63.
63.
Tyler Boyd is 6,400, and we can play the Lions, and that gets us Tyler Boyd.
Yeah. Dude, we could play Swift and the Lions defense.
Yeah.
Do a correlation stack and hope for the best. Hope Phillip Rivers sucks.
I wonder if Darius Leonard's back in this week.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I didn't check.
I should have checked. He's in our out.
Oh, Hawkinson's down here. I'm just kidding. He's on fire. Jerick McKinnon, 6,000. Claypool's down here at 6,000 too. They got all of these Steelers receivers. I guess they're so streaky though.
Right.
Because he only had one target last week. Dude, I don't know. Man. I got a feeling about Juju though.
And people are going to be on Claypool more still, I bet.
I think so. And it's a division game, so they might not even. I mean, yeah, Brown down here against the 30th ranked passing defense. He's getting targets every week. He gets in the end zone a couple times.
Yeah.
That's 59. I don't know what that would give us offensive wise. Let's see.
I mean, we did mention Marquise Brown earlier.
Yeah. So that gives us 4,000 defense. Let's see. A good way to make sure you have a really weird lineup too that less people have is not to use all your money.
Right. Packers gets us the Packers defense.
Yeah. Let's see see, like the Saints is probably. I would go from the Saints to probably Pittsburgh. I'd be one of those. I would probably leave all of these other teams out. I don't really love any of these.
With Allen Robinson out, I really think that makes the Bears offense 1,000 times worse.
Yeah. Let's put the Saints in.
Yeah.
And then see, and then just go see. Because I mean, Hollywood Brown's good, but if we can get, no, we can't get Juju. Fuck. I was gonna say Juju feels good. So Crowder and Deontay Johnson both hurt. Parker, damn, this is like the injured receivers list.
So,
oh, dude, I like what's his name even more. Emmanuel Sanders is out with the illness. I like Kamara even more.
Yeah, T. Higgins is down there.
T. Higgins, Claypool, Marquise Brown. We already got what's his name down here. Damn.
We got Keenan Allen. So.
Oh, Jarvis Landry is down here too, and he runs it back with the stack. But I think we already have Kareem Hunt, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so here's a question: do we want to stick with Higgins, or change it? Because if we go low, if we go like a Marquise Brown, just say Marquise, that gives us. We could go up to 5,900. I guess that would put us in the same ballpark.
Right.
We could go Mike Williams.
So Deontay Johnson scored twice last week and had a bunch of points. I wonder if he's out this week, because then that should give Claypool another bump up. Because if they were just riding Deontay because he was the hot hand.
Yeah. Did he leave? When did he go though? Turned after a week 6 absence. He tallied 2 touchdowns. He was also blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like he's questionable. He had 15 fucking targets last week. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I don't necessarily like Ben Roethlisberger on the road either, though.
I don't either. That is a thing. But last week it was at Tennessee, and he did good. So, but here's the thing, right? So if he's in, he's the guy. You could, you know what? Maybe we cancel that. Didn't want to. He's the guy. I think he's the dude. Watch this. Look. He's the guy. He's 63. He's the guy.
Look at all the other weeks though before last week.
But yeah, well, what I'm saying is if he comes out healthy, I mean, we could probably get him lower ownership, and he probably goes crazy. We can adjust during the week, but just look at, so he was out, but then look, he didn't play, 13, and then 10, 13, 15. So when he's playing, he's getting targeted.
I bet he's pretty highly owned, but I mean, we don't necessarily have to be that different. But just because he had 2 touchdowns the week before. Yeah,
I mean, I don't mind him.
I'm fine with it if we can figure out if he's playing.
I say we put him in for now, and then we might have to make an adjustment during the week. But we
pivot to either Higgins or Claypool, then.
And that leaves us $100, and that's a strange lineup. I don't know how many people are gonna have Higgins and Ayuka.
Yeah, Ayuk.
Yeah. I mean, the only other thing would be like you could come down on Keenan Allen to what?
Mike Williams is dirt cheap, and he didn't do shit last week, but he is the number 2 in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. I was saying you could come down from Keenan and then go to either like a Lockett, hope he has 3 touchdowns, Robert Woods, and then you could bump up Deontay to Juju.
Right. Yeah, that is true. Or Boyd.
So if you put Juju in, let's see, you put Juju in, and then you got rid of Keenan, what did that give you? That gives you 72. So you have up to Tyler Lockett. Lockett, Diggs, Robert Woods.
I think I like Steph Diggs. He just gets targets.
He does. And New England's been garbage. I think that's a smarter play, to be honest with you. Look at all his targets.
Yeah.
And he hasn't had a big multi-touchdown game.
And they have 0 tight ends in Buffalo because they all have COVID.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I like that actually. That's the team right there. With still have $100, and you got Juju, and you got hopefully you hope Deontay Johnson's out, or yeah.
Put Ayuk in the flex and move Juju up to.
Yeah. So I meant to do Ayuk. All right, knock him out. Put him here. Juju is right here. Come on, go in Juju. And then we'll go with the flex of Ayuk or TJ Hawkinson. I'm just kidding. Or Le'Veon Bell or T Higgins. Jesus Christ, there's so many people down here.
Yeah. We should have marked down all these other people that we liked, but didn't put into a lineup and have like secondary lineups with them in there and stuff.
Yeah,
when I'm throwing my lines out there.
I was say I could send you over the audio. And I just want to enter. I think I'm gonna enter that.
There you go.
We might go against it during the week, but we might change it as the injuries and stuff pop out. But I think that's it. Boom, shackle. Boom. Well, that's our first DFS. I think we'll be a little bit more on the ball next week with it, but why not? It says great lineup. Look at that. Boom.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I think that's everything, and that's a good spot to end it, I think.
Yeah.
So hopefully next week, after episode 1 of Off the Rails with Tone and Gems, we are $1 million podcast.
Yep, that'd be nice. And then we'll work on the documentary series.
Oh, we got some good documentaries lined up if we can get some funding. So, all right, Gems, got anything to say on episode 1 as we end?
No, that was great. I enjoy this. Hopefully we keep it rolling and make some money this week.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm going to go work on some backgrounds and all that kind of fun stuff and have this podcast out as soon as possible.
All right, cool.
So, all right, guys, thank you for watching. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend. And that's it for us today. See you next week.
See ya.